Hi, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of Hashira Half Hour. My name is Emily Adams, and I'm joined today by the wonderful Hannah Look and Bryan Travis. We are so excited that you are here joining us today for this very first episode. Now, the reason that we're here today is going to be to discuss the intricacies and the themes of the Demon Slayer anime series, and we hope to branch into multiple other series in the future. We are each going to take a moment to introduce ourselves and our interests and how we came to find an interest in this form of media, our favorite Slayer, and our favorite demon. So I'll go first. I personally have found a deep-rooted interest in the Demon Slayer story and in many anime and manga series because of my background in theater and in playwriting. There are so many nuances and variations of folklore in the storytelling of this world's cultures, and I'm deeply interested in the methods that they use to bring these to light. I also have a background in dramaturgy and will always want to bring historical or contemporary context to the episodes so we can better hope to relate and understand the underlying themes and messages. My favorite character doesn't play a large part until season 2, where they have their opportunity to shine, but my favorite will always be Rengoku. I hope that that sweet boy is enjoying bento boxes somewhere beautiful right about now. Interestingly enough, in light of Rengoku being my favorite character, my favorite demon also happens to be Akaza, as I think that they have one of the most compelling backstories of any of the show's featured demons. I will dive into this more in a future episode when we cover that story arc, but my two conflicting favorites. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to Hannah to introduce herself.
Thanks, Emily. That is quite the introduction to follow up. I am not as philosophical with my reasons with loving Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer has a fictional main character that I can emotionally attach myself to. So, okay, that's only partially true. I adore Tanjiro with my heart and soul. Y'all listening in are going to quickly probably get tired of me bringing him up because he is my child. I love him. He is my son. I will do anything to protect him. That's just the way I am. But I do enjoy the pacing of the story. I really found myself falling in love with the show at the very beginning when the training arc was an episode and a half and not 2 seasons long. And it doesn't seem to really rush things either. It just has that great pacing. And I do enjoy learning about the Taisho period of Japan. I've always been fascinated with the Japanese culture. And I do like that this show is kind of based with a lot of that Japanese culture. And then big shout out to the soundtrack, the outstanding soundtrack, I should say. I'm a figure skater. So when soundtracks catch my ear, I fall in love and I listen to pretty much only that. So when a show has that great, outstanding soundtrack, I am going to listen to it nonstop. And Demon Slayer is honestly second behind Attack on Titan, but that's another conversation for another day. But as we've already determined, my favorite character is Tanjiro, my favorite demon, and we haven't really gotten to see much of him yet, but I'm excited for when the show is expanded on him, but it is Kokoshibo. He is one of the upper moons, and if you are an anime only, you might not really know who that is yet, so stay tuned because he is amazing. And speaking of anime only, we're passing it off to Bryan.
Great. That's my intro. Hello. My name is Bryan. I'm 24 years old. As Hannah mentioned, I haven't read the manga yet. I am just picking up volume 13. So right after where the Entertainment District arc ended. How I got into anime to start, I was really just introduced to anime from friends and kind of going through that. I watched the first anime I actually fully watched on my own, Kill la Kill. So that's kind of how I kind of got into fighting anime. Demon Slayer itself caught my attention, not just because of a lot of the elements that Hannah and Emily brought up, but it's very emotionally charged. I feel like every episode has its own little heart, and it has its own sensory feelings, and every emotional theme is a little bit different, and each episode tells a little bit of a different emotional story. And I think that's really cool for an anime, looking kind of comparatively to other ones like maybe Naruto, or I haven't seen Attack on Titan yet, but I've heard a lot of thematic emotions about it. I feel like they're really the same overarching emotion, whereas Tanjiro story with his sister Nezuko obviously gives you so many different feelings at so many different times. That's what really caught me into it. going forward, eventually when I did meet Zenitsu, that anxious babe immediately became my favorite. I feel exactly like him. I'm so unmotivated and scared to do everything until someone else's ambition or feelings are at stake, and then it's all of a sudden everything at once. And honestly, that's exactly why I love him, just because he turns on immediately when he needs to, and he can be anxious and scared the rest of the time. My favorite demon, I would probably say, even though he doesn't get a lot of screen time itself, I would say it's probably the Temple Demon. The reason being, that Temple Demon, I feel like if we would have gotten to see more of him, I feel like he would have been a real challenge for Tanjiro, because just he regenerated so quickly, and also you got to see how a demon really works with him. And I felt like he had a lot of emotional charge that we could have discovered with him. So I really like him for those reasons, just because he got so much that he didn't need to see.
Nice. All right, friends. Well, this is going to be your motley crew guiding you through these future episodes. I do think it's worth mentioning how we met each other and how we came to the decision to begin this podcast. So I will start off by saying that we all work in the same industry at an undisclosed tech startup. We've all met each other through the training department of this company that we all work for. And we had the opportunity to give a presentation about something that we were all passionate about. We were immediately able to find a common thread.
Like, it was that moment in class when you connect eyes with every person, you're like, and then
it's just
literally.
It's amazing to me that we got so lucky, because there were multiple classes happening and the three of us ended up in the same class on the same row, and they were like, make a presentation on something that you get to pick, and we all went, oh yeah.
It was like immediate, like the sentence wasn't even finished and we're like, oh yeah, like we're talking about Demon Slayer. And it went over very well. You know, a lot of people don't watch anime still, which is, you know, that's their MO, but we were able to present. And there were quite a few conversions made that day, which was fun. We did make a personality test to find out which Demon Slayer you are. So if you're interested in that, maybe we'll drop the link in the bio and description. But it's been really fun. It's really been a pleasure getting to work with Hannah and with Bryan. And we're really looking forward to seeing what we'd be able to bring you in future episodes. There you have it, friends. Our next episode is going to feature a discussion of episode 1, Cruelty. We're really looking forward to hearing your thoughts or answering any questions that you might have. If you do have any, make sure to drop those below. Be sure to subscribe if you've enjoyed what you've heard and seen today, and turn on those notifications so that you're the first to know when any of our new episodes drop. Thank you again for joining us today. This has been the Hashira Half Hour. Looking forward to seeing you next time.
Peace out.